people that are on the screen are all the people that are here?
Looks like it. Yeah.
Some people may
Cool.
join a little later as they can.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a problem.
All right.
All right.
Well, welcome to our exit presentation from our internship with NASA Eclipse and NIA. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Latanya Waller.
And I'm Julia Sumo.
I'm featured on the right. Julia's featured on the left. We began the role of science communication interns for the National Institute of Aerospace, working on the NASA Eclipse team with Joan Harper Neely as our mentor. We worked on a team of 7, including ourselves and Betsy, Laz, Sharon, and Shannon. As interns, sorry, someone wanted to be admitted. As interns, we scripted, filmed, and edited videos, drafted and posted social media, redesigned infographics, and completed outreach events. Let's take a look at some of our accomplishments and how we've grown personally and professionally. We'll start by talking about the video content we produced for NASA Eclipse. So, in order to judge student submitted spotlight videos, we were given a task of filming our own. The NASA Spotlight Challenge empowers learners to research, write, and produce short videos to confront science misconceptions. We confronted the misconception that the land cover of an area doesn't matter. We had to learn how to script, set up an experiment, film, and edit while working with each other across the United States. By the way, I live in Virginia and my cohort lives in California.
On other sides of the US. And here's the example of our video.
This is like the second time that this has happened this week. I wish I could just walk on concrete all the time so that this would never happen again. That's not a bad idea. We just replaced all of this with concrete. I would never walk in mud again. I mean, it's not like it really matters, right?
Hold on. You can't do that. Land cover matters.
Wait, what do you mean? What even is land cover? Land cover is defined as the physical material at the surface of the Earth. But why does it matter? And how can it impact communities? To learn more, let's try a simple experiment. All you need are different samples of different land types, paint bins to hold them, some water, a measuring cup, and sprinkles are optional. You'll want to place your surface sample in the shallower end of the tray, like so. And then, in order to boost up the deeper end of the tray, you'll want to put a rock or a piece of wood under the shallower end to keep it stable. Here we have samples of concrete, gravel, sand, and sod. The sprinkles will represent the balloons that rest on these surfaces. Now, let's see how it interacts with our simulated rainfall. Gently pour 1/2 cup of water evenly over the surface samples. Take notes on how each surface sample interacts with the added water. Does the sample absorb it fully? Does all the water run off to the bottom of the tray? Or is it somewhere in between? What happened to our pollutants?
Okay. One there. Okay. Perfect. There we go. All right. Sorry, let me make sure this is perfectly in presenter mode. There we go. We also created educator guide companion videos. NASA Eclipse's educator guides are meant to instruct educators as well as students on the background and procedures for implementing an experiment. We have the task of creating videos for the educator guide the light plants need. I created the background video, which explained the scientific context of the experiment. Latanya created the demo video for the experiment itself. Let's take a look.
We use light every day, but do we really know how it works and impacts living things? You and your students can learn more about how light affects plants by trying the NASA Eclipse lesson, The Light Plants Need. This video will provide background on light's qualities, impact on living things, and importance in space. The light we can see is called visible or white light and can be separated into its individual colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Each color has their own unique wavelength. For example, blue and red wavelengths are necessary for photosynthesis. The types of light you might be familiar with are LED lights and incandescent lights. LED lights are more energy efficient than incandescent, with less energy being lost as heat. So why is LED technology so important in space? Well, LED technology is being used to light the International Space Station in the form of the Solid-State Lighting Module, or SSLM. These LED-based SSLMs come with a host of perks. They only need to be changed every 10 years, whereas the previous lights needed to be changed every 12 months. They also lower overall power consumption and heat generation on the ISS and include fewer toxic materials. Not only is LED technology more sustainable and energy efficient, but it can also have a positive impact on people in space. For example, LEDs can simulate natural light, which will help astronauts adjust better to life on the ISS. Finally, a major goal for NASA is to grow plants in space to keep astronauts healthy on long-duration missions. Specific LEDs can be used to produce only the wavelengths of light plants need to grow, making them less expensive to use than LEDs that produce all wavelengths. The ISS Vegetable Production System, or VEGI, is only able to provide astronauts with fresh produce through the capabilities of LED lighting. By following this guide, learners will be able to investigate how light affects living things, how different colors of light affect a plant's development, and how technology advances science.
Great. And then we'll take a look at Latanya's video.
Yeah,
And
and this is just to
Latanya,
back up the content that she just played. So this is the actual experiment.
yeah.
This video focuses on the NASA Eclipse real-world guide, The Light Plants Need. We will learn more about how light affects plant growth through hands-on experimentation and analyzing data. Learners should know that there are 8 practices we use in science. We're going to focus on 2 of them today: planning and carrying out investigations, and analyzing and interpreting data. In this experiment, you will set up a plant growth chamber to observe the effects of different wavelengths or colors of light on plant growth. Let me show you how to set up the experiment. For the plant growth chamber, gather the following materials. You will need 4 10-watt LED light bulbs, 4 fast-growing seeds like lima bean seeds or garden cress seeds, 4 250 milliliter foam or plastic cups and label them red, blue, green, and clear, 400 milliliters of potting soil, 8 to 12 small rocks or pieces of gravel, 1 plastic milk or water jug full of tap water. Make sure to leave open to allow chlorine to escape, 1 100 milliliter or 250 milliliter beaker, 1 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, 1 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter piece of plastic wrap or cellophane in each of these 4 colors: red, blue, green, and clear, 4 rubber bands to secure the cellophane/plastic wrap around the LED light bulbs, and 1 thin metric ruler. Once you've gathered all needed materials, follow these steps to prepare your plant experiment. Place 2 or 3 small rocks or pieces of gravel in the bottom of the labeled foam cups. This will help the soil drain. You can label the foam cups blue, red, green, and clear. Use the beaker to measure and fill each of the cups with about 100 milliliters of potting soil. Pour 45 milliliters of water over the dry soil and let it absorb overnight. Also, soak the bean seeds in a beaker of water for 24 hours. Set up the different colored cellophane sheets so that once your plants are positioned near the designated light source, they will receive equal light through only the appropriate sheet, which acts as a light filter. Plant one seed 3 centimeters deep in each cup. Lightly cover the seeds with soil. Be careful not to compact the soil. Use the graduated cylinder to provide 15 milliliters of water into each cup. Pour off any excess water. Place the cups near the designated light source. Arrange the cups so that each receives the same amount of light. Use a rubber band to secure each cellophane sheet around one of the LED light bulbs. Water plants with 15 milliliters of water every other day, or every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, for example, for the next 20 days. Planting day is day 0. Check daily to be sure to note the date the seeds first sprout or germinate. Once the plants have begun to germinate, measure heights with the metric ruler. Make sure to record your plant observations in a table or calendar. This is my plant growth chamber. What will yours look like?
Okay, great. All right. So, all right. Over the course of producing these videos and teaching myself the programs Adobe Audition and Adobe Premiere Pro, I streamlined my video development process. I learned how to script and select necessary B-roll, record and edit my voiceover, select and edit appropriate background music, and master and edit the video to engage the viewer. It's a recursive and complex process, but after this internship, I am confident in my video creating skills.
For my video development process, I learned how to use Animaker, or I taught myself how to use Animaker, and this helped with filming movies or videos. I was able to simplify the method, which I created videos in order to make a film that is interesting and easy to follow. I had to learn how to write a script and find the footage I needed. Since I was filming the procedure slash demonstration portion of the educator guide, I decided to make sure I had all needed materials first and then followed with creating the voiceover. I also learned how to record my voiceover, choose the right music, and edit it all together using Animaker. Although making videos is a complex process, I feel better prepared for future projects of this type.
So our second style of deliverable was social media, website design, and infographics. After learning from Laz's social media skills, we crafted posts for Black History Month and Women's History Month. We picked an SME from NASA Eclipse and crafted a post that highlighted them in an engaging and accessible way. The highest engagement we had on a post was 550 people. We even drafted other posts that weren't published, and now we feel much more confident in producing social media content.
As fresh eyes to the NASA Eclipse website, we were tasked with looking for ways to improve it. We analyzed the website and presented our discoveries in a presentation focused on making the website more accessible and user-friendly.
With my background in English, I was also tasked to do some copywriting on the Eclipse website. I took some of the older content, which is demonstrated on those first 3 categories to the left, and I rewrote it to be more exciting and engaging for the user over on the far right. We were also tasked with redesigning an infographic so that rural learners without recording devices could still participate in the Spotlight Challenge. We changed all images and text to instead apply to a skit, poster, or digital infographic. Additionally, on the far right, I taught myself Adobe Illustrator and produced an infographic to go along with my video style guide, which I will show more about later. I was also tasked with creating an interactive career hexagon to use for our SMEs. I picked the SME Marie Cologne to work with, gathered information from her video, and met with Suzanne Sprague from Virtual Science Teachers to learn how to use Genially. I'll play it while I keep talking. So after lots of trial and error, I was able to create an interactive foldout that reveals and hides content with a click, as well as enlarges when the cursor hovers over it. I had to manually create and size all of the shapes and superimpose them on top of each other, and troubleshooting it took a lot of creativity, but was also a really exciting learning experience.
We also wanted to highlight how much we learned from professionals in informational interviews and meetings. We met with some very important people. We met with Lazaro Bosch, Scott Bettner of the NASA 360 team, Aaliyah Craddock of the NASA 360 team, Christian Elliott, Susan Sprague, Carolyn Ng, and Theo Chwala.
So like I just mentioned before, I learned from Suzanne Sprague how to use Genially and how to create interactives. We actually walked through a lot of the process together, and she was incredibly helpful. We also were able to speak with Carolyn Ng about her work and career path as an education specialist in the Heliophysics Science Division, which was invaluable since we're working in science communications. I also sought out and met with Christian Elliott to learn more about his work in podcasting on NASA's Curious Universe series. If you know anything about me, I'm very interested in podcasting. And I also met with Thea Chawla to learn more about graphic design and how to use Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop.
We met with Aaliyah Craddock to learn about infographics. She's a pro, and she explained her process for drafting materials and showed us some examples of pieces in progress. She was even able to give me instruction and tips on how to make my academic poster better since I'm still in school.
Which turned out great, by the way.
Yeah, which did turn out great.
All right. And one meeting that really stuck out with us was our meeting with NASA 360. And this was spearheaded by Scott Bednar. We were able to ask the whole group as many questions as we wanted about their process of brainstorming, scripting, filming, and editing. Everyone chimed in and gave their tips about working with digital media. And on the left, Jessica Wild even stayed after to show us some more audio editing tips. We are so fortunate to have made the connections we did during this internship.
Yes. Another aspect of our internship was community outreach, in which we gave back to the community in the NASA Eclipse way. On March 20th, 2023, NASA Eclipse did outreach for elementary school children and their families at the Armstrong Elementary School for the Arts. We prepared them for the upcoming 2023 and 2024 solar eclipses. Students made paintings of the sun and afterward looked at them using NASA light telescopes with different colors at the end of the tubes. Students enjoyed learning about how NASA scientists look at the sun through telescope screens. This was very enriching. On April 18th, 2023, I demonstrated how to build a barometer, which measures atmospheric pressure. For the pre-Earth Day event, this was broadcasted live to students all over the world, and they also participated in the demonstration with me. We'll play a little bit of the video.
All right, so we're going to bring on Latanya Waller, who's our fabulous intern, and she has two activities she's going to do. And Latanya, you want to start with barometer, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing so she can share her screen.
Hi, so like you said, my name is Latanya. I'm a science communications intern with the National Institute of Aerospace, and I'll be talking about building a barometer. It may be hard to believe, but the air around you is pressing on your body from every direction. This is because air has mass. This powerful push, called atmospheric pressure, is measured with a device called a barometer. Weather forecasters use barometers to help them measure how the pressure will change over time. You can make a barometer in just a few easy steps. For this demonstration, you will need the following materials. And if you already have them ready at home, you can do the demonstration along with me, or tell me to slow down if I need to slow down while doing the demonstration. So the materials you need for this demonstration are a jar, a balloon, a rubber band, masking tape, a straw, a pencil, a metric ruler, a pair of scissors. Please be careful with the scissors and ask an adult for help if needed. Also, you want to use a piece of wide rule paper where the lines are drawn 1 centimeter apart for the barometer scale. If you don't have a piece of wide rule paper, you can create one by using a blank sheet of paper and drawing your lines 1 centimeter apart using the metric ruler and the pencil. Again, this was very enriching because students all over the world were able to participate and do the demonstration along with me. Also, I did a second demonstration for April 18th, which was our pre-Earth Day celebration. I demonstrated water purification by way of a filter. School children from all over the US again participated in the event. Life straws, which lets you sip from any water source, inspired it. We demonstrated how kids could make water filters themselves. The video was filmed using Animaker. Watching the kids perform the demonstration with me was enriching. Let's take a look. Imagine having to drink from rivers, lakes, or ponds, like lots of people in the world do, instead of turning on a faucet or opening a bottle to get pure clean water. You'd have to find a way to remove any pollutants mixed in the water before quenching your thirst. In this demonstration, you'll make a simple water filtering device using a plastic bottle. Dirty water will be filtered through several layers of different materials. The demonstration will produce cleaner water, but not good enough for you to drink. All you need to do for this demonstration is gather some sand, small gravel, medium-sized gravel, small clean pebbles, peppercorns, cotton balls, a spoon, a pitcher, an empty plastic 2-liter bottle, and water. First, take a 2-liter water bottle and cut all around the bottle with the scissors just about halfway. Be careful with the scissors. If you need assistance, ask an adult for help. The top part is going to be the filter. The bottom part makes a holder for the top and collects the filtered water. Next, if your bottle has a cap, remove it. Tightly pack the cotton ball into the mouth of the bottle. This will trap very small pieces of dirt floating in the water. Next, put the top of the bottle upside down into the bottom part of the bottle. Now add a layer of sand about 2 centimeters deep. Make sure the cotton ball is completely covered with sand. Next, add a 1 centimeter layer of small gravel and then add a 2 centimeter layer of medium sized gravel. Remember, the more layers you add, the cleaner your water will get as it filters down. In addition, the more compact the layers, the slower the rate of filtration. With that in mind, let's use our fingertips to push the gravel and sand beneath it. The compacted layers will slow down water flow and trap lots of dirt. Finally, add small pebbles on top. Now that your water filter is ready to work, you need to make some dirty water. Fill your pitcher with water and add as much pepper as you like. Your water is now well and dirty. Pour some dirty water on top of your pebbles on top of your filter. Watch as the water trickles through the layers and emerges much cleaner at the bottom. Water always finds a way through the gravel, sand, and cotton balls. The gaps or pores between these layers trap the particles that are suspended in water. Remember, your filtered water is not safe to drink, even if it looks clean. This is my water filter. How many layers will yours have?
And our most recent deliverable, and I think one of the most rewarding ones for me personally, was presenting for Digital Learning Day. Our topic was STEM celebrity lookalikes, where we showed celebrities and their STEM lookalikes in order to engage students and show them the type of diversity that exists in STEM. It was very rewarding to interact with them. Latanya can back me up on this, but we had one girl from third grade
Yes.
responding and answering to questions. And I think we asked about, what hobbies would lead to,
Mm-hmm.
could connect with STEM careers. And she mentioned that she did coding. Um,
Such a young
and
age.
yeah, yeah. And
And
that was like,
she told me it was JavaScript. And
yeah, I don't
then
even know how to code. So
yeah, and then who knows, she may be coding for NASA one day.
yeah. So to think that even if we just touched one person, it's really exciting. Okay. Finally, we created resources to guide the success of future interns. Latanya and I collaborated to create the content for a style guide that would help future interns with video elements like tone, video editing, color usage, logo placement, audience, accessibility, and distribution. Then I converted our content using Canva into a professional looking style guide. It was my first time working with Canva, and I enjoyed seeing how easily it created a polished product. I also created a video that ended up being over an hour long on how to script, produce audio, and video edit. It's a comprehensive guide that is both written and visual. It's everything I wish I would have been taught when I started, and I'm so hopeful that it can help future interns who also came in with little to no experience creating video content.
Finally, we wanted to discuss our personal professional growth and what we're taking away from this internship. Over the course of this internship, Julie and I had our writing and video production published, learned how to communicate science to a variety of audiences, learned how to present virtually, learned how to collaborate across the country, since I'm in VA, she's in CA, learned our strengths and worked on our weaknesses, created tangible products. We also learned to value our work, learned to trust our creativity, and just go for it. Learned the value of outreach, learned to take initiative, and last but not least, learned how to work and communicate effectively in a team.
Yeah, yeah, we're proud of that. And then one thing that I'm proud of and thankful that this internship kind of pushed me to do was create my first online portfolio. I used the website builder Wix and compiled all of my deliverables alongside with some older pieces of work. And I think this will be really important in showing my skills to future employers. So I'll just kind of show you guys. There's like my little title page. Um, I created a portfolio menu that works so you can jump to any of those different areas by clicking on those hot buttons. Have a little introduction to myself. All of my video content is playable from right there. I have my interactive embedded, showed my Canva designs, a podcast episode I created, some of the social media content, the infographics, some blog writing I've done, some poetry and design, and some of my academic writing. And there's showing how one of those hot button works. But yeah, I was excited about that. So my future plans include interning this summer with NASA's Space Weather Program under the Heliophysics Division. I'm so excited to continue my work with NASA. I'm also looking into joining editorial at the Exploratorium, which is my other employer. And if that doesn't work out, I plan to join the next mentorship session and work under science writing.
For my future plans, I acquired a summer 2023 internship with Lamb Corporation, a supplier of wafer fabrication equipment and related services to the American semiconductor fabrication industry. As a doctoral student in a material science and engineering program at Norfolk State University, I'm thrilled to continue pursuing my research career. And also, I have a desire to make perovskite solar cells for NASA one day in the future. We want to thank you all for this amazing opportunity. We're lucky to have worked with such a supportive team, and we've both grown so much as a result. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to echo that sentiment, but I think I can't believe how much we've done in 3 months. So
Yeah, it's a lot of deliverables.
yeah, it was, but I think
And
we're
thank you everyone who joined today. So I know it took time out of your day.
yeah, and I think that's the end of our presentation.
Yes. And thank you, Philip Williams. I see you here represented. So that was one of my old mentors.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah, welcome. We had a guest there I didn't know. So
You snuck
thank
in.
you, Latanya and Julia, for spending a couple of months with us and helping us with our program and especially doing the outreach. That's fun and exciting work that I think all of our interns enjoy doing.
Yeah, yeah, it's important.
And I'd like to speak up and also thank you all. You gave us a lot of feedback on our resources and website and style guides and everything. And it's wonderful to have an external look at things that we've been developing and updating yearly. So sometimes we're just a little too close. So you had fresh views and even ideas that of today think people look at things this way rather than when they're originally written. So we are implementing a lot of your feedback daily, and I really do appreciate that.
That's awesome to hear. We're really glad that you're
Yeah.
using it. We appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking it seriously and giving us good guidance.
We do our best.
Okay. And I want to thank Laura for joining us today and being supportive. So she doesn't always get to see what happens on this end. She does
Yes.
usually the onboarding and the offboarding. So thank you for joining
Yes.
us.
Thank you, Laura, for being a great onboarder. So she took care of me really well when I first started. So thank you, Laura.
Yeah. Feel the same way.
You're both very welcome.
Yes. And again, thank you, Philip. So thank you for showing up. Please let Dr. Williams know that I said hello.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, Latanya. This is, as I said in the chat, phenomenal. I can see we might have a tug of war to have you back.
Oh,
It seems like
wow.
so much that you've learned in terms of science communication is definitely a challenge for us, I would say, in the work that we do. Not just reaching out necessarily to the public, but also reaching out internally and conveying our
It
message internally.
exactly.
So,
I even as a hardcore science lab rat,
mhm,
I learned the importance of science communications and getting that narrative of science out to the community. And it takes skill to do that, and a lot of scientists don't have that. So
indeed,
I'm very grateful for this experience. So
this
now I have this experience under my belt, and I have the lab experience under my belt. So I'm very grateful for this team.
that is awesome. If I could ask a quick question of maybe you both, um, with the work that you've done, reaching out, through the NASA Eclipse and a lot of work to the public, particularly the youth. Right? I saw the video of the outreach event you did, Latanya, locally.
Hmm.
What were some of the surprising things that maybe you heard from some of the students with the
Uh,
information you shared? Was there some aha moments where they really got it, or did they wow
Yeah,
you with some
so
questions?
one
Or
one thing that really stuck out was we made different tubes with different cellophane filters at the end to represent the filters that NASA scientists put on satellites. And
right,
so you can see different aspects of the sun, like solar flares or sunspots or coronal mass ejections,
mhm,
depending on which filter you use. And we noticed that the filter that had the highest wavelength of energy, which is blue,
right,
blue or purple, um, you could say bluish or purplish, showed the most attributes of the sun. And they were just like, oh, we can see the best through this color. And, they were able to take that away. And that's something that they learned not only about the electromagnetic spectrum, but they also learned about the sun. And then we also did a demonstration with a lollipop, which represented the moon. And we told them to stand back from the sun that was on the wall to show how something so small can cover the moon, to create a total eclipse. And then ask
right.
them to move, just to the left or the right to create a partial eclipse. So it was a really simple and a good way of preparing students for the upcoming eclipse. So,
Awesome. That is
yeah.
great.
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing up. You just don't know how much I appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'll let Julie know. Unfortunately, she had a conflict. She had another workshop she was attending, but
I
I'll
figured
share with her
that.
the great news of what she missed.
Okay. Well, I think we'll have the recording a little bit after this. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
Yes.
great if we could share that with us.
Okay. No problem. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us today. I don't want to keep people too long. I know people have other commitments.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop recording.